Welcome back to the channel. As I briefly showed in my last video with the unpacking of the various tool bits and stuff like that, I also took advantage of the kit through eModels to buy this very nice Eduard Spitfire Mk IX. This is the Profi Pack, 1/72nd scale. Quite a few other people have actually got this kit already and done some reviews, but I thought I'd do my take on it. I absolutely love Spitfires. It's a great looking kit. So we're going to go through the box and see how it compares with other offerings in the past that I built, like from Tamiya, which myself I consider the definitive 1/72nd kit. So at some point when I start building this, we'll do a step-by-step video series, hopefully on the build. But in the meantime, let's have a look and see what's in the box on this thing. So let's open it up. Nice and sturdy box. I should point out you get a nice box art, including 6 different schemes right there. Haven't decided what I'm going to build yet. Some more on the side there. And a little bit on there. Nothing on the back. And your standard stuff on the front. So anyway, let's open it up. And we'll see what's inside the box. So everything's really nicely bagged, as one would expect from an Eduard kit. We'll start off with the very first thing is the standard Eduard sprue, as they do in their circular, the clear sprue in the circular pattern. Everything looks really good. I had a brief look at this earlier. A couple different canopies, so that'll be good. A quick peek at the instructions. Not all these are used, so there's definitely some other stuff they're going to do in future probably. But a really gorgeous canopy set there. There we go, the focus. Looks in really good shape, no marks that I can see. So that's going to be good. So I'll put that back in the bag. Moving on. Let the camera focus in again here. There you go. Moving on, the next bag contains most of the fuselage especially. There's actually 2 sprues in here. So we're going to cut this open. I'm just going to put the box to one side, if that's affecting the focus a bit. You may have noticed as well, I've picked up a new gray work mat. My other one was getting old, but the other thing I realized is, and like some other people have done, they find it actually makes the videos and stuff shows up better in the light. So I have to admit, it seems to be working quite well. I've also picked up a new webcam. I'll talk about that separately in another video, but I'm very happy with it so far. So anyway, alright, let's have a look at some of the sprue assemblies here. First off, quite a few options here for tail assemblies. So again, a couple different marks one can build. So that's going to be interesting. Again, very good molding. Panel lines look very good. Not bad at all. Then we're moving on, we've got a few more flaps, stuff like that. Again, very nice. This kit's been covered in quite a few other people's videos, so I won't repeat myself, or repeat them, I should say. But again, very crisp panel lines. It looks very good. We'll see how close we can get with that. Yeah, you get the idea. So that looks pretty good. Main fuselage and wing assemblies. Looks not bad at all. There's some interior detail for the gear. Landing bay. Looks pretty good. One thing I did note is that you can kind of just barely see, and I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you can barely see, there's a little bit where you can kind of see the inside of the bay, of the internal landing gear bay and the molding. I don't think it's going to be a big deal during painting, but again, we'll have to see. You can just kind of see it there. It's very thin, so, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to show up. It feels smooth, so that should be fine. But they've definitely, there's definitely not much plastic in between there, so they've made it as thin as they can. Some tail planes, again, the fuselage looks very nice. If we look at, if I can get it up close there, the side of the cockpits, the interior cockpit, the base looks very good. Definitely some, you know, you can do some stuff in there, so that looks good. So yeah, some very tiny bits. So I think that's going to work very well. put that to one side. We'll get out the next bag. The next sprue bag is everything else. This is the last one. All the interior bits. One bit that's already come loose, I see. I'm going to have to be careful here. Get this open. Again, I like these Eduard bags. They peel off and then you can easily close them again, which it looks like I'm going to have to do because with these very small parts, things do occasionally come off the sprues, and you want to make sure they don't go missing anywhere. So I'm just going to be very careful taking this out. Looks like the part came out with it, so we're going to see live as we do this. So again, propeller, more of the interior cockpit sidewall there. That looks very nicely detailed. See if I can get the camera to focus on that. Very nicely detailed. Here we go. Very impressive. Lots of different options here. Some ordnance, different wheel options it looks like. All in all, very nice. Second sprue. Again, different cockpit, rest of the cockpit options, things like that. Intakes, stuff like that. Looks very nicely done. Some very nice detailing there, some different options. You're definitely going to have stuff for the spares box. I should also point out, there's the seat there. Again, in this scale, very little detail, but it's all you need. Let's see, there you go. So yeah, all in all, not bad. So we're going to put this one back in its little bag, and then we will continue. This one definitely has some small parts. There's the small part that came out. So we'll make sure it happily stays down in the bag. Alright, moving on. Now that I know that part is there, I can safely move on to the rest. Now, because this is a Profi Pack kit, it does come with some extra goodies. You actually get a very nice canopy masking set. Yeah, you're not even going to see that on the camera, but there's some nice masking options there for the canopy, which is something I particularly do not like doing, masking canopies. So that'll be fun to do. This will be my first set. I've got a set actually for my Hasegawa Lancaster, but I haven't got around to doing it yet. Here is the photo etch that comes with it, including some cockpits, some seat belts. Some nice little photo etch there. There it is. Let's see if I can make that any easier for you to see. There you go. So very, very nice. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the instrument panel on that looks absolutely gorgeous in this scale. And again, some seat belts and all the usual goodies one would expect with a photo etch set. The decals are, again, look really good. We're going to open these up. Plus stenciling. Not often you get stenciling in a 1/72 scale kit. So yeah, this will be interesting to see. But it looks good as well. Just a matter of getting the darn bag open, of course. There we go. So we'll start with the decals. Here's the decal options. Again, the decals look very nice, very crisp. Not too thick that I can tell. So they should be fun to put together. Again, once I decide what version I'm going to do in what marking, so that looks very nice. And then there is the stenciling, which again I said you don't often get this in kits of this scale, so it's a nice option. Again, a lot of detail. You know, this will take you a fair amount of time to decal, but it can really make the difference. That's one thing, you know, I noticed in some of the other older 72nd scale planes I have. It's just, you know, these are very tiny. It'll be interesting to work with these. But if I can get them to work, I'll be very pleased. I think it will definitely add something to it. So that's the stenciling. Yeah, those are very tiny. Those will be interesting to do. I think I'll be using magnifiers definitely for that. And then last but not least, we have the instructions. Eduard instructions are always good. We'll start with the main page. You got a nice little history there. We'll go down and get some artwork. It's very nice. Then we'll go through, and as I pointed out before, there's a lot on this kit that are stuff you're not going to be using for this version. So again, in blue you can see that there's quite a bit there. There you go. So yeah, it'll be a lot of interesting things for the spares box. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can hopefully see the instructions a little bit better. We'll just zoom in here. There you go. So yeah, this looks good. So yeah, the initial page, initial build-up. Eduard instructions are excellent. It's like their photo etch. Just, take the time to have a good read, have a good look. The other thing too is, again, depending what version you're building, you need to decide that first, and we'll look at that. We should actually probably look at that first. So we'll go down to the end of the instructions just so we can see what the call-outs are. They're all lettered A and so on. So there's the first two. Different ones: 602 Squadron, 312 Squadron. This one has invasion stripings. This one's not. This one I'm already kind of attracted to already, but we'll see. Typical Aquinas and Mr. Color callouts. Easily converted. The next one here is another one from 302 Squadron and 601 Squadron. It was in Italy in a summer scheme. That actually looks attractive too. I haven't done one like that before as well, so again, maybe something I'll look at. And then the next two is 401 Squadron. Two different machines from 401 Squadron. Looks like actually it's the same machines, just slightly different markings from slightly different time periods. Yeah, if you notice the invasion striping, the fuselage here, this one completely covers the fuselage, where this one's only half. So again, another interesting one as well. And then last but not least, this is just the stenciling pattern, where all the stencils go. And as I said, it'll be interesting to see how these stencils work out. I'm looking forward to trying them. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go back to the instructions. So as I say, there's even at fairly early stages, it's actually, you have to know what version you want. So here's some of the callouts for an A version, a B version, etc. So yeah, worth looking at. Looks like some very nice detail. As I said, Eduard instructions are very easy to follow. You just kind of have to think about it, do your test fitting, stuff like that. Cockpit, pilot entry door open or close, various options there. Fairly straightforward build. There's the wheel wells we were talking about earlier. Yeah, very straightforward. Wing tips, various options there, I'm sure. There's the tail. Nothing too surprising, nothing too challenging, I think. The gear, obviously. Pretty straightforward. It's got some ordnance too. And then the basically the canopy, depending on which mark you're going to be building. Canopy selection, etc. And then ordnance selection. And then we follow it up with the this here, which is the guide to the masking for the nice mask set you end up getting. So yeah, overall, very nice kit. Looks very good. I'm really going to look forward to doing this build. It's nice that you get the extra goodies. Very value priced. I got this for under £20 from E-Models, but places in North America are going to have it too. So yeah, it's very nice and nice to see this kit getting there. So looking forward to building it. Thank you again. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the channel, and we'll go from there. So happy building, thank you, and be well.